Hello, this is Brian Rowe from Mythic MTG Tech doing a video on what to speculate or invest on right now, June 2014. I've been developing these slides for the last 2-3 days. Anybody who is a Patreon sponsor was able to see these slides in advance. If you would like advanced access to things like this, become a sponsor. Terminology first. Investment is really long-term growth, looking for things that are going to always be worth a lot of value. Your Underground Sea is a primary example of that. Yes, it's went up from about $200 to $400 at Unlimited in the last year and a half, but it is going to keep that value long term. There's real scarcity. It's not likely to be reprinted. Speculate, on the other hand, is buying things just as they kind of rotate out of standard or when they're undervalued in standard with the idea that they're going to shoot up because of their playability in modern, in legacy, in another environment where they haven't really reached that potential. Gristlebrand is a great example of that. He was really easy to pick up at about $10 for a long time right after he rotated out. He shot up to 30 when people realized how important he is to the show and tell decks in Legacy. He could be reprinted at any time, so he couldn't see a fall again. With investments, you're fine keeping those long term. With speculations, you want to get in when they're low and you want to get out when they hit a high point. Legacy staples. As long as SCG is supporting Legacy, Legacy staples will continue to go up over time. Death and Taxes is probably one of the most underpriced, super competitive decks right now. This is a beautiful version of it that I found over on MTG Salvation by Finn. The foils in this deck are already going up, but they will continue to go up, especially those that will not see reprints in Modern. Umata's Jite in foil, the original, is way up there, over $200 at this point. Stoneforge Mystics, I think it'll be a long time before we see them printed again in foil, and even if they do get reprinted, the original foils will still hold a lot of value. Thalia is one that has just started to climb and is a staple in this deck. It's what makes it super competitive versus Storm and very competitive against the Brainstorm decks. She's a 4 of in this deck. She's worth picking up in foil and in non-foil. Deathrite and Abrupt Decay are about to rotate out of standard. They don't see that much play in standard. A lot of people are waiting to pick these up until they drop in price. I don't think they will drop in price. They will continue to slowly, steadily climb over time. Deathrite's ban hit its value a little bit, but it will recover all of that value and go up over the long term. Abrupt Decay is an amazing card in Legacy and in Modern. Pick these up now and be happy to have staples that are similar to Force of Wills in the long term. Modern reprints. There's some cards that have just recently been reprinted. Their value tanked. Now is the time to pick them up. Thoughtseize is a prime example of this. It is one of the best combo answers out there. It is really cheap right now at about $15, where it was as high as $60 to $70 before the reprint. If you want to get into Modern, pick up a playset. If you want to get into other cards, pick up 2 or 3 playsets and trade these off later. These have a lot of long-term potential. Inquisition of Kozilek is in a similar situation. The price on it is dropping because of the Modern event decks. This could easily be a $15 card long term. It's very easy to pick up for $5 or less right now. I would definitely pick them up. Remand is another one that is too strong for standard. I don't see it being reprinted in standard. The Jace versus Vraska dual deck is one of the only places we'll see it. I do hope to see a foil version of this particular artwork, but my guess is it's either going to be a Judge promo or a player reward type card, that we won't see it in a standard set. Maybe we'll see it in something like Conspiracy 2 or Modern Masters 2. But pick up the remands. You can often find the Jace versus Vraska dual deck for about the same price as the remand, so you might as well pick up the whole deck. People like Jace, throw it in your trade binder, very easy to trade away. Cube foils. Conspiracy has just come out. Your hardcore players hate it. Those of us who like to play casual Magic love it. There's a lot of great cards in here. I would pick up versions of the cards that are playable in Legacy and playable in Cube in foils. Pernicious Deeds is already taking a beating price-wise. It's very easy to pick up. Now is the time to pick it up. Stifle is also going down in price right now. Sometime soon, after a few more packs are cracked, I would definitely pick up my playsets of Stifle and a playset of Misdirections, or at least one Misdirection for your sideboard. Foil Brainstorms. This is the most beautiful brainstorm we have seen printed in foil. It is just amazing. Yeah, the price tag seems a little bit high at $50, but it's only going to go up over time. It's a long-term investment. Some of the cards in this set are also wonderful cards for putting into a cube or maybe even seeing Legacy play. Tyrant's Choice has the possibility to maybe see play in a burn deck. Lore Seeker is an amazing, fun, interesting cube card. The foil version of that is going to shoot through the roof. The High City over here may also become a cube favorite. Lots of the draft cards that are in Conspiracy key off of having multiples of a card. I would avoid those altogether because cube players all have singleton cubes, but those that have a fun interaction like the High City or the Lore Seeker are going to be super popular in cube. Get the foils now. Up and coming, we've got some standard cards that have started to raise in price already, but they're not done yet. Courser of Kruphix is eminently playable in Standard, an amazing card. It shuts down aggro decks. It's also playable in Modern. This could be a long-term staple card. Eidolon of the Great Revel, incredible card. It usually does 2 to 4, sometimes even 6 damage to your opponent. It will be a Modern burn staple and Sea Fringe play in Legacy. Definitely recommend picking it up now, especially the foil version. Eidolon of Blossoms is a fun card. It is very, very powerful in a Constellation deck, in a deck that has a lot of enchantments. It will have a deck within the next year that is playable around it. It will spike the card's value up significantly. I would trade for them right now. No one is valuing them. There is a lot of long-term potential during the Standard season. I would get rid of them before they rotate out. They will go down significantly after that. This is your last chance to pick up Shocklands at a reasonable price. Shocklands will move up to the $20 to $30 range after the supply from RTR is gone. Yes, the RTR block was heavily printed and these showed up in event decks. There are lots of them floating around, but now is the time to pick them up. They will double in price and be a long-term staple as Modern becomes more popular. Thanks, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech. I appreciate all the sponsors that are out there on Patreon, and I've got some very fun videos coming next week, including the first Iona to be destroyed in my quest to get Iona banned.